Hi, good evening, everyone. Today, we are going to start with the chapter 3 of Cullis and Jones. Chapter 3. And we are going to talk about beta public goods. Okay. The aim of this chapter is basically to help you understand multiple things, right? And to begin with, the aim of this chapter is to help you understand what is a public good. सबसे पहले हमें जानना है public good होता क्या. So we want to understand what is a public good. Then I will also talk about what are the conditions for Pareto optimality of the public good. तो इसके लिए पहले हम समझेंगे Pareto optimality होती क्या है, right? So we want to understand first what is or what are public goods. Second, we will understand the Pareto optimality condition of public goods. तो ये पेरेटो ऑप्टिमैलिटी कंडीशन समझने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है ये समझना कि पेरेटो ऑप्टिमैलिटी होती क्या है. Only if you understand clearly what is Pareto optimality, you can understand what is the Pareto optimality condition of public goods, है ना? So that's the second thing that we want to understand better. Third, in this chapter, we also want to go ahead and we want to talk about characteristics of public good. मतलब एक बार ही मैंने देख लिया कि यार ये चीजें मैच हो रही हैं. Once we see what are the conditions that are matching, then only I can tell ना कि ये public good है या ये private good है. So what are the characteristics necessary for public goods? That is what we want to understand in this chapter. Then beta, we want to also understand what is the difference between pure versus impure public goods. कौन से वो public goods होते हैं which are pure in nature? What are impure public goods? What are the characteristics of impure public goods? That also we want to understand. Okay? And finally, we want to understand how individuals show their preferences to government about public goods. एक example देखो. Suppose I tell you that there are two public goods, right? One is a park and second is a hospital, right? How will individuals reveal their preferences? How will they tell that, you know, I want to go ahead and I want to, I want to prefer a park? कैसे बताएंगे individuals ये? So how will individuals reveal their preferences, whether they prefer park or whether they prefer flyover or whether they prefer hospital? How will they tell that? That is also something that we want to understand in this chapter. So these are some of the things that I want to go ahead and I want to do as part of this chapter. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, beta. So ये हमारे तीन चार कुछ objectives हैं जो हम achieve करना चाहते हैं इस chapter में. For today, I want to start with 3.2. Part 3.2 of this chapter. 3.1 just tells you what you want to do in this chapter. Okay, so we want to start with what are public goods. But this is the best book that one can follow for public goods chapter, Cullis and Jones. इसके ऊपर कोई भी अच्छी book नहीं है to be followed for Cullis for public goods chapter. Okay, So we want to understand what are public goods. So there is a very famous economist called Samuelson, right? And he defined public goods as a good which all can enjoy in common. तो ऐसा कोई good जो सब लोग commonality में enjoy कर पाए, जैसे park. When I also enjoy it, you also enjoy it. Common है सबके लिए, right? So such a good which all can enjoy in common, right? And when one consumes it, there is no subtraction for the other. जब मैं पार्क में वॉक कर रही हूं तो आपके लिए पार्क कम नहीं हो रहा. When I walk in the park, it does not reduce the amount of park available for you, right? So when all are able to enjoy in common and usage by one does not lead to subtraction for the other, that is called a public good. So beta, how did he define public good? So a public good, we will write everything down. It is also called as collective good. Was defined. किसने define किया था बेटा? By Samuelson. As. कैसे define किया Samuelson ने इसको? So as a good which, let me write it in different color, which he wrote this, all can enjoy, right, in common, in the sense that each individual's consumption of that good does no leads to no subtraction. But try to write in as much close wording that he mentioned. So leads to no subtraction from any other individual's consumption of that good. So when one individual consumes the good, if it does not lead to less consumption by other individual, and if it is a common good, right? This is, for example, the best example is defense of any country, right? So when I use the defense service of my country, it is a common good. It is also available to you. It is also available to the third person, to the fourth person, and so on. So it is a common good, right? So first, it is a common good. And second, when I use defense, does not mean कि आपके लिए एक soldier कम है, right? So whatever defense service is available for me, that defense service is also available for you. So it does not lead to no subtraction. बेटा इसको अभी हम ऑफिशियल वर्ड्स में बोलेंगे. वी विल मेंशन व्हाट इज राइवलरस, नॉन राइवलरस, ये सब बात करेंगे बाद में. अभी के लिए हम सिर्फ वो डेफिनेशन की बात कर रहे हैं जो सैमुएल्सन ने दी है. फॉर नाउ वी आर ओनली टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट डेफिनेशन व्हिच इज गिवन बाय सैमुएल्सन. वी विल गिव सम ऑफिशियल वर्ड्स टू दीज, ठीक है? सो बट हाउ डिड ही डिफाइन इट? He defined it as a good which all can enjoy in common, and consumption by one individual does not lead to subtraction for the other individual. Is this clear? Okay. Now, he also mentioned better that public goods, they differ from private goods. So he said, देखो एक public good हो गए और एक private good हो गए. How do we define? कैसे मैं define करूं private good को? So private goods, Suppose the private good, let's say beta, is apple. Okay. Let's take two individuals, individual A and B. Let's say that individual A consumes 4 apples and B consumes 3. So beta, how many apples do I require? 7. When A consumes an apple, you have less apples for B. है कि नहीं? अगर इस 7 apples में से, if out of these 7 apples, suppose A starts consuming 6 apples beta, then B will only be left up with 1 apple. So when A will consume more of the private good, less will be available for B. That is private good. Suppose we take a pizza and I take one more slice from the pizza. There will be less pizza available for you. So the total amount of apple or pizza available is how much A consumes plus B consumes, right? So in case of private goods, you must add what A is consuming and B is consuming to get the total good. ठीक है जी? कितना A consume कर रहा है और कितना B consume कर रहा है? If I add that together, only then I will get the total private good. Please try and understand. Because this is called horizontal summation. This is called horizontal summation. So beta, what is horizontal summation? You are adding what A has and what B has to get the total in the market. ठीक है जी? Now, against this, when I talk about the public good, then each individual gets the same amount which is available in the market. Let me give you an example, like park. So if there are 2 parks in the society, then individual A can also access these 2 parks only, and individual B can access these 2 parks only. So how much A will consume will be equal to how much B will consume, will be equal to what is available in the market. So the total amount available in market, that is beta this G, total amount available in market, that is equal to amount that is available for A, और वही same amount B के लिए भी available है. So that is equal to amount available for B. So for today, the takeaway for this lecture, हमने क्या पढ़ा? The takeaway of the lecture are the 2 equations. The 2 equations. So what we can summarize is the 2 equations. So for private good, the amount in the market is what A consumes plus what B consumes. And for public good, जो भी अमाउंट मार्केट में होगा वो पूरा का पूरा A के लिए भी अवेलेबल होगा और B के लिए भी. So this is the important equation that you have to understand. Okay, beta, we will continue the lectures in the coming classes.